What's up YouTube? Happy Friday and welcome to another video here from Central North Carolina. I am Mr. Ferguson here behind the camera. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to day 2 of this warming trend we're experiencing here in Central North Carolina. We talked briefly on Wednesday about fertilizers. We talked a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about that today, but I figured I would walk around the lawn, kind of show you some of the things I'm identifying and seeing as our temps are actually rising right now as the release of this video. It's time to start kind of brushing off the time to take walks around your subdivision. Get ready for that push mower. If you're a push mower like me, start seeing if you're checking your tires. If you're on your riding mower, check your air pressure, get the oil changed in your lawnmower, get those blades sharpened, make sure you're charging those battery packs, and we're getting things kicked off here very shortly. So just wanted to show you guys my lawn today. We briefly touched on all the gumballs that I'm seeing back here, and sticks and stuff from we've had high wind days, we've had the winter ice, we've had snow. They said we was going to get 15 inches, we got 2. We've had a eventful past 3 months or so here in central NC, but currently what we're dealing with is the ground is definitely drying out finally. We had lots of rain lately, even going to try to play golf course the last 2 Saturdays when it's been sort of warm. It's been mushy and wet. We've had a lot of rain, but the lawn finally feels like it's trying to dry out. But one of the things I'd mentioned is we got all these gumballs, as you can see at my feet. I hate the gumballs. I really hate them. I wish I could get rid of all the gumball trees, but my goal is to today, hopefully, just briefly take the time to just brush some of these back into the woods. Fortunately, I have woods behind my house, so I'm able to do that. And some of the sticks and clean this up. I'm going to come out here and we may throw in the montage of just a quick, sped up version of cleaning it up and how much better it looks after all of this. But it is annoying. It's not fun, but you can just see all of the trash, the leaves, the sticks, the branches, the gumballs, just all of this. So we want to clean that up. That's one of the first things I like to do coming out of winter into what feels like spring. We do have a little bit of dew also on the turf, and I'm anxious to see, today it's going to get up to almost 80 degrees. So yesterday it was a little bit higher than they thought. We were around 75, 76. Today it may be 79 to 82-ish. And so I'm anxious to see with the warming soil temps, with the warming weather, does it affect this at all? It should, right? Our warming ground temps, we put down our prodiamine for this reason, right? Because it's going to start germinating some of these weed seeds that are in our dirt that just naturally, right? And so look, we got gumballs all the way back to here. That's how strong the wind can be sometimes. Now it does look like maybe yesterday there was a little tiny bit of growth, but the one thing that I'm seeing that I made a statement on just recently, I said I'm not seeing a bit of POA in my backyard, and that is absolutely true. But now I am finally, with this warmth, I finally started seeing a little bit of POA popping up in the side and front yard. So I'm finally starting to see the actual seed heads emerge. They have not been there, and now they are. I've noticed the light green, grass, but now we do have POA annua. And for those wondering, yes, this is POA annua. And so these seed heads right here with the POA annua, they will drop in your dirt and they may germinate. They may wait until next year and germinate. They may wait 2 years and germinate. And that's how people can end up with an infestation of POA annua. So the velocity is something that, obviously with warmer temps we can apply. We have warmer temps now, but we'll look at that. We'll see how much we have, if we need to actually use a herbicide, or if the good grass is probably more than likely just going to choke it out. But it's always in these areas, over here, like on the left. And so we're seeing some of this, some of this trash over here that really we could clean up with 2,4-D products like Speed Zone. But I'm seeing more of the trash, stuff in my yard like POA annua, which, it's there. And as the temps rise and as the soil temps rise, all of this will eventually go away and melt away. It's a cool season type of weed, so it doesn't like the heat. So eventually it'll go away on its own. But we do have velocity and things we can apply if we want. Saw this guy last night, just this, he's tall and proud. Look at this weed. He's like, hey man, the sun's out and I am happy about it. And so everybody's growth is starting to occur is the point of all of this. And so as we see, it's a little dull looking, it's a little green, it's a little brown, it's a little brown over here. Everything's going to start jumping and growing. And as we discussed last time with our fertilizer and things of that nature, we don't want to go too crazy with our fertilizer and make ourselves susceptible to fungus and other types of things of that nature. So obviously something I need to do is I need to freshen up the mulch here. We've got our tree ring is suffering. We got grass all over the place. So I need to definitely fix that up very, very soon. I'm seeing a lot of POA along the edge of my driveway right here, especially where members of the family run over it all the time. So yeah, we're seeing that. And even like with the golf courses and everything, we even got sticks and stuff all the way out here we need to pick up. But we got brown in the lawn here from Bermuda and such that are eventually going to start waking back up, and that Bermuda is going to be alive and well. So see a little bit of POA on the side up here, so it's really going to start coming alive. And so with fertilizer here soon, we'll see. I'm not exactly sure. I may wait till mid-March before I do it. I'm not in a hurry to fertilize this grass. I want it to naturally kind of wake up first and do a mow, and then possibly, you know, do some fertilizer. So we'll see what we do from there. But it's just still, you know, obviously for the next several days, being this is only day 2 of our warm up, it's going to keep this winterish look to it, and likely in your areas as well. Looks like Mr. Snake had a bad day, so yeah, somebody ran over him or something. But the snakes are out as well. Almost stepped on them. That's why caught my attention. One of the things that we didn't talk about on the last video is, you know, spray fertilizer versus granular fertilizer. And with that being said, let me put this camera down if I can. That's not going to work. Let's go back here for a second. So one of the things we didn't get into about the fertilizers is obviously just something like urea. You know, when we're putting down just straight up urea, a lot of people like that. That's what the Stay Green product is. I think it's 2100 Stay Green from Lowe's. Great product, great fertilizer, budget friendly, cheap, and does the job of feeding the turf. And so that Stay Green does a fantastic job. But the alternative to that Stay Green, when we put that down, the grass is immediately going to absorb it once we water that into the plant and absorb that. Something else alternative is slow release. And obviously there's a polymer coating, just like with the GCI fertilizer that I purchased from Pete. That's a 30-00. It's a mix. It's a little bit of urea that is immediately going to be fed into this plant of this grass, and then there's another portion of that fertilizer that has a polymer coating over the urea, which over time, as water wears down the coating, it then releases to the plant. So it's a slow release. It's not all of that fertilizer at one time being applied to the plant. So it's something to consider whether you're doing a slow release or whether you're doing an immediate feeding, a non-slow release, if you will, that's immediately going to affect your turf as soon as you do that. A great example that we did recently was the 700 Green Effect. That's a urea product with iron. And so some of you even mentioned, hey, I like to do an iron product before I do fertilizer. Totally. I mean, everybody's got their own thing that you like to do. And so not trying to make you do what I do or anything. I'm just trying to get your mind and geared up for those that may be coming out of winter. We know we got a lot of friends that are up north dealing with snow and ice that are probably still buried a little bit. But slow release is something obviously that will last a little bit longer. It will feed your lawn a little bit longer than the quick shot of maybe spoon feeding options that we sometimes do with liquid. So I'm going to be doing, as I mentioned, the 30-00 from GCI Turf. It is a mix of a little bit of it will feed the turf immediately, and then the other portion of that fertilizer has the polymer coating, which will be a slow release, and so it'll feed it over time. And so I'm not looking to feed my lawn every single month. I'm looking, I do the eye test. I do what most people in America do that are not professionals, that are not experts, that don't work in lawn care, that are not constantly doing soil tests every day. We've got lives, right? We got families, we got ball games, we got golf, we got vacations, we've got work, we've got all these other things going on. We're not professionals in our lawns so as that we're constantly just focused on it all the time. We're also not retired. There's a retirement, community that maybe you're able to do those things. You're able to every day come out and work on your lawn every single day and perfect it and craft it. But there's a large portion portion that can't do that, of younger families, which I still fall into. I'm getting closer to the older group, but still, my focus is not, I'm not as concerned as in years past, like in the COVID years when I started my channel, of perfecting the lawn. I got to get this, I got to get this. I'm caring less and less each year is what I'm trying to say as I make these videos. I want it to look good, I want it to look green, but also my interests are elsewhere a lot of times. We'll close out the video. I'm just going to set up the tripod, and it's going to be hot today, so the camera could cut off. I don't know how long, if I'll be able to capture it all, but I'll just do a quick time lapse of just raking the backyard, just cleaning this up, and then maybe a quick pan over of how much better it will look. You saw it previously like this, and so with just sticks and mess all over the place, and so we'll just take a little bit of time and try to just clean this up and make it look better and prep the ground for our fertilizer. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed just this quick walkthrough of my lawn, this quick talk about fertilizer once again. We'll get into more topics. Hopefully next Wednesday we'll do another video and possibly be ready to put down. We want to use the timing of the rain too. So if it looks like we're going to get some rain next week, I may film it even if it's prior, and may do a small application of fertilizer, but we'll talk about that on the next video. So God bless you guys. Let's get some raking done, and I'll see you next time.